Hello and welcome into The Scene. I'm your host, Bubba Starts, and with me today on this special episode is my good friend, DJ and radio host, musician, and fellow concert promoter, Mitchell Stafford. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, bro. I'm doing good, man. I'm just, living the Black Hills dream, as they say.
I love it. Well, I miss the hills. You know our history begins there. But
Yes, that's
for
very
people
true.
who don't know you, Mitch, why don't you give everyone a little bit of history?
All right. Okay. Well, I guess I was born and raised for the most part here in the Black Hills. I moved away when I was 10, and then I grew up in Arkansas. Woo pig suey out there. And then I came back to the Black Hills about 2006, following a dream of always being involved in the entertainment industry. And I used my marketing skills and sales skills to get heavily involved in the entertainment industry, specifically with the rally to start in 2012, working with the Flaunt Girls behind the scenes on a little few things, and then working with an advertising agency that they owned. And that led me into getting into radio. And I've been on the air for whatever it is, 10 plus years now, with the two separate companies. I now work with HomeSlice Media, which is a massive media group out here in the Black Hills, with national clients and one of the biggest digital agencies in the state of South Dakota. And we own 6 radio stations, and I'm very much involved in the music scene out here with bands like Camp Comfort, who actually is a band that I manage. And that's opened the doors for a lot of different opportunities, and getting very involved in the venues out here, helping bring shows to Rapid City and bringing bigger acts to the area. That's the goal. That's what we want to do.
Mitch, you sound very busy. What does a typical week for Stitch during the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally look like?
Dude, you, that's something I can't share with you.
What happens at the chip stays at the chip.
That's very much true. But yeah, I'm very involved with, we working downtown with a few different groups downtown in Sturgis. And then at night during the Buffalo Chip and Glencoe Camp Resort, even sometimes the Full Throttle Saloon. So, I work probably 16 hours, might get 2-3 hours of sleep each night, and then wake up the next day and do it again for 10 days straight. So it's fun.
I love it. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about Rally Point?
Yeah, Rally Point is what essentially would be kind of like your Main Street Square in downtown Sturgis that they build this, and it's sponsored by Harley Davidson. They pretty much own it, and the city of Sturgis puts on shows there throughout the summer, and of course every day during the rally. It's a decent stage right there in downtown, across from one of the most famous saloons in Sturgis, the Knuckle Saloon and the Knuckle Brewing Company, who just had new owners this year, which I'm excited for. So they play shows all summer long. Every Wednesday they do a concert series, and then every day during the rally they have probably 5 bands on that stage that rotate out, starting around lunchtime till the end of the night around 10 o'clock.
Well, I got to talk to Shane Funk a few weeks ago, and we're hoping that Starts and Ends as one of those bands this summer.
Yes, definitely. Shane's the man, the drummer from Judd Who's, who actually has almost a top 10 rock song right now with Blacklight District.
It's amazing, isn't it?
South Dakota.
Yeah,
dude.
Blacklight District featuring Judd Hoos. Amazing to watch it climb these rock charts, and so happy for the boys. I get giddy watching it, man. We're here for the wins. Mitch, a little bit about the scene, since we really haven't had a chance to talk much about the podcast, is just trying to be the connection of all the dots, right? We're all scattered across the state. Everybody's doing all these amazing things, and we just wanted to be a forum for everybody to come and talk about that. We're playing songs. A few of our mutual friends have already been featured on the first episode. We just shot the second episode yesterday. We're doing these big things, and we just needed somewhere to tell about it. You're doing wonderful things out at Hot 93.1, where you're a radio DJ. You've been playing some local music. You were kind enough to feature Triple Fine on there for us last month when we released it. I appreciate that. Can you speak about your new radio show and kind of how people can get a hold of you and get on there as well?
Well, I think it's very important because of all the talent that's in the state. I think that we kind of get looked over because we're such a small populated area. But I get the vibes that this is like the Black Hills and just the state of South Dakota and the music in general. There's so much talent here. Like this is like a little Nashville if you think about it, especially with the Sturgis Rally, which is kind of the largest music festival in the world if you count all the stages that go on in Sturgis, and that's happening right in our back door. So I think it's important to feature the talent that we have and give artists an opportunity that have always dreamed about their song being on the radio, and then just having that platform and being able to do that and having the freedom to be able to do that. I just think it's important for morale. It's important for the scene. It's important for just everybody involved. I really think, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but like making people's dreams come true with their song played on the radio, that tickles my fancy a little bit. You know
It's
what I mean? Like
awesome.
I just love doing that for other people and having that opportunity to be able to do that and help
Have
other people.
Mitch, having been on both sides of it now, right? So I'm in the truck and we recorded it live when we listened to your segment on Hot 93.1. And we're not in your listening area, but we're tuning in on the stream. And to get to share that moment, given our 20-year history, right? And for have you in the studio in Rapid City and me in my car out, I think I was on the way to a gig in Mitchell, actually. And of all places, right? And
Right.
yeah, my buddy's playing my song on the radio, man. I mean, I was in tears, just the happiness flowing because you're doing what you've always dreamed of doing. I mean, these are dreams we shared together, Mitch.
Yeah,
20
dude, 20
years
years
ago
ago.
on
That's
a
right.
stairway at Jimmer's place, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to live
Very
it
true.
now, right? To be in it, to be in that flow is like I want to do so much to help everyone, to give them the opportunities that we didn't really have, and
Exactly.
that's what the podcast is about. And it really it was inspired by you because of what you did with your show. I went, God, anyone can do that. I have all the same equipment that he has at the house. Like, we're already professional broadcasters, we just don't have it yet. And then after doing Dave Holly's podcast and finding a shepherd, is I needed a mentor. Hey, kind of show me the ropes of this thing. Give me some tools, give me some experience, be my co-host in this. And we have a great time doing it, right? It takes us 15 minutes to shoot the episode. We listen to 3 songs, we get a reaction. It's great. And then in addition to that, I get to have awesome conversations with my friends like you, like Devin Sands, like Chris Graves and Luke Graves, who's actually in town right now at the hotel waiting to play a show with me tomorrow. We're already collaborating. We're doing all those things. So to have the forums to tell everyone what's going on is so important, Mitch. And I appreciate your acceptance of that and your acceptance of the role and the responsibility almost that you have as a radio personality to be that. Bring back the land of the DJ where you were curating the playlists of the listeners, right? Not, the business dictating the playlist to you and then down the line, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
how
Exactly.
awesome now to announce this week 4 Winds Rapid City, which is the culmination of all of these things. And Mitch, can you tell us more about the concert you guys just announced this week?
Yeah, definitely. So just a little back end story. I've been working in Corey Church's ear, who puts on these festivals in Omaha, Sioux City, and as well as Sioux Falls. He's been doing these festivals since 2015. And I've been in touch with him trying to get, just work with different shows, get some of his artists out here because it's important, because we want more shows out here. We want people to come play out here because for whatever reason, Rapid City has a bad rep in the past with either past promoters or shows just not working out or whatever. And I'm trying to bridge that gap. So this has been a 2-year relationship with me and Corey with just little talks here and there. And then eventually getting to the point where we were able to bring his idea out here to Rapid City, which I'm so excited about. And the lineup is insane. So we're going to do it at AB's in Rapid City on downtown on 5th Street. And we have over 30 plus local and regional bands. Our headliners, of course, being King ISO, which is a huge rapper from Strange Music, a big Tech 9 guy, of course, has a huge following. And then we got local favorites that was actually voted best band in South Dakota in 2020, Camp Comfort. We also got Rowan
My boys.
Grace. Yeah, we got Rowan Grace, who was featured on The Voice a couple of years ago.
We just had Rowan out in Mitchell last November too.
Yeah, dude, and she just got accepted into
Berkeley,
Berkeley
right?
School for Music in Boston. So
Yeah.
congratulations to her.
Big
Um,
congratulations to the young lady.
that's right. And then we have In the Whale, and then some crazy awesome local bands that are getting their name out there, like dude, the Outside Kids, up and coming
Love them.
pop punk band. And these guys, dude, the lead singer Matt Beener is probably one of the most intelligent and probably the best sound engineer and audio engineer in the state, hands
Man,
down.
he
I
has
love
been a
Matt.
breath of fresh air to the scene. So, a little backstory here. I'm a big Camp Comfort fan for our listeners. Matt started traveling with the band. Was it just last summer or maybe before
It
that?
was
But I
last
just
summer
I
because
I
yeah,
saw you
because
boys I saw them at the Levitt. And there's this guy, Matt, with them. Oh, hey, Matt, you're great. Awesome. Well, Matt starts setting up before the show with the 3-piece, and I follow enough to know what the Outside Kids is, right? But I hadn't heard them yet. And my goodness, the playlist is right back to high school for us, ain't it, buddy?
yeah, dude, it's very nostalgic, man. I love those guys. They're doing big
How
things, and
much
so
talent is in that band?
yeah, there's a lot, man. Pat Fahey playing guitar, Joel Adams on the bass, and then of course Matt, and then Zach Conger drumming, which is it's a powerhouse pop punk band for
Well, and
sure.
travels so well because you have half of the band plays in Camp Comfort as well. So I love that they kind of travel with that opener and have in the past. And I mean, I'm sure you're going to see that throughout the summer. I know Camp Comfort's kind of been on a long hiatus. Kind of everybody's doing different things, right? And it's nice to take that time away from those groups that maybe are a little bit bigger. And it's something that I'm doing even with Starts and Ends, where I'm in the process of kind of removing us from the bar scene so we can get used to playing more stuff like this where we get to feature our original music. Oh, spoiler alert, Starts and Ends will also be at Four Winds Rapid City as well.
That
So
is correct. That
that
is
is
correct.
great.
So way to segue in there, man.
Yeah,
And just
man.
some of the other artists I wanted to highlight real quick because like Diaphane, who's getting a ton of traction on TikTok with their queer country sound, and Kyle doing a great job with
They are
that band. They're
great.
involved. Trap Kit has over 2 million streams on 2 different songs on Spotify. He's going to be involved. We got the Sturgis Battle of the Bands winner who opened up for ZZ Top, and our good friend Oakley Ty Goodfire is going to be on this. And then his kids, Rathco, which are just aliens. They shouldn't, I don't even know how they are who they are, but they just are probably
Well,
the most talented band in the state, if you ask me. And
right.
they're only
Well, you got to
16,
look at
17
dad,
years old.
right? You got to, it stems from somewhere. I mean, I'm a second generation, third generation musician, right? Those things get passed down, I think, in your DNA. And
Yeah.
then when you're around it and it's encouraged, that amplifies. And then you get, yeah, I mean, they're genetically engineered rock stars.
Yep, exactly. And they're gonna be famous people for sure.
They are
Definitely.
in my book, man. They're all over my Instagram feed.
They're awesome, dude. So I'm really excited about that. It's a dream come true, to be honest with you. And then I think if all goes well, I think that this is a stepping stone for the music festival to not only grow here, but also bring more national attention to the Black Hills and the state of South Dakota as a whole. And more bands are going to start passing through here because they know that the people here are supporting live music, and they want more of it, and they want more variety, and they want to come out and support it. And I think that this is a stepping stone in that, like, you know what I mean? Within the next 5 years, we're going to start seeing some bigger things happen because of this initial Four Winds Music Festival coming to town. I
Right.
really do think that.
And that's the same thing I saw, Mitch. So I've been bugging Corey for just as long. Last summer they opened it up for one more band to get in. We activated our fan base and got them, to open the doors to let Starts and Ends play. And that opened the door for me to come in and to work with Corey. And we're doing exactly that, Mitch. Mitchell, South Dakota, is the bridge, right? It's one more step. And we actually did this with the next show that we're putting on April 19th. I'm playing with Skrizzly Adams, who has 200 million streams online, right? Guy's
Oh,
huge
wow.
online. He's doing a Midwest tour, singer songwriter, alt country style. Like, oh man, you fit great with us. You fit great with our style. Well, I take a look at his schedule. I'm like, hey man, you're not playing on 420. Do you want to stay another day? I can get you a little bit of money guaranteed, but we can sell these tickets and maybe do a little bit more, right? And throw a nice show and help you out. Yeah, man, that sounds great. Let's do it. Well, we have connections also, not only to the radio like you, right? But also Dakota News Now has been really good to us. So we got him a spot on the news. I'm featuring on the news pretty regularly at this point, right? Zach Dresch, who's somebody that works tirelessly at Four Winds when in Sioux Falls here. I'm sure he'll be out there playing with 6 bands for Four Winds Rapid City as well. But yeah, to be that connection and do exactly what you said, Mitch, we're all going to be working so closely together over the next couple decades of our life, right? It's really fun to see, like you said, dreams come true. And now let's keep them going. Right now that we finally got everything off the ground, I mean, that's the monumental effort, right? Is to get it moving in the first place. I think the sky is the limit for the scene out here. And exactly why the podcast became named The Scene is because I wanted to encompass coast to coast in South Dakota, but also to extend to our neighbors in Minneapolis and Kansas City and Omaha, and to spread throughout the whole upper Midwest, because we don't need to go to Nashville anymore. Right? We all can record from home. We have some of the best engineers right there in Rapid City. Tom Freer's done all of my stuff. I can't wait to work with Matt. That's on the list too. And like, we have our own little thing going on. Let's nurture that. Let's build that up. And then we can see how great it's going to be. Like you said, 5 years from now, people aren't even going to recognize the pictures from now and be like, oh my God, it was so small and it's weird that, there was nobody out doing things. And now it's grown into this beautiful, big flowering tree, right? So let's keep planting seeds, Mitch. I appreciate your time today. It's so cool to, we have these conversations on the phone once in a while anyway. How great to bring it to our listeners and let them know, well, what's going on in the scene.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate you having me. I'm so excited for the future of this scene and, working alongside all these great people that are our friends, for one thing, and everybody has the same mindset to make this dream come true and make it happen and make Rapid City and the state of South Dakota a spot on the map where people want to be and enjoy live music.
Well, Mitch, you do me a favor. You let everybody out in Rapid City know that we got this little podcast called The Scene, and I want to talk to everybody. This month for me is going to be batching content, so for all you listeners as well, if you're an artist or you know one, send them our info, and we're going to have it out there how to get a hold of me and get yourself on the scene and help us grow this thing. We are just starting out, and we appreciate each and every one of you. A big thanks to Stitch, a.k.a. Mitchell Stafford, for being on the show today, and we'll see you next time on The Scene. Thank you so much for listening and sharing the show. For everything The Scene, go to patreon.com/thescenesd. Follow us on all your social media channels and make sure to make yourself part of The Scene.